That wasn't the most of entertaining games, was it? But nonetheless, we got the job done. Arsenal 1-0 victory away at Man United. In terms of how Arsenal played, I didn't think we done very well at all, to be honest. I thought we looked very tired. Not just physically, but mentally. You can tell we haven't got much left in the tank now. There was a few tired legs out there from quite early on as well. Quite early on. And I mean, we got our goal through their lack of quality, what they've been doing for the last all season, really. Just really, really poor defensively, really open, no structure to it. And we just capitalised on that. But we had a lot of players in our team, I thought, against United that were giving the ball away very easily, taking too many touches, making the wrong decisions. And thank God it was against United. To be fair though, I thought one of our standout players yet again was Saliba. He got man of the match. And I see a stat as well saying he's now got man of the match against Man United, Man City and Liverpool this season, which just shows you, first of all, how important he is and how important he's been this year, and how much of an impact that had last year on our title run. As soon as we lost him is when we started going off the boil a bit. So it makes you think, was it us bottling it, or did we just lose our best centre-half at the back? You can look at it different ways. I think if we managed to keep him fit last year, we would have gone on and won that league. I don't think we would have bottled it. I don't think it's a mentality thing anymore for Arsenal. We've been to these, Tottenham away now, City away, Man United away, where we'd always lose points. But it's a different kettle of fish for Arsenal now. Mentality thing's gone. People can't talk about that anymore. We've lost one game in 2024. When we've been going for the title. That's the opposite of bottling it. That is the opposite of bottling it. We've been gunning for it. We lost one game in the league. It's ridiculous, and we're still going to come short. So, listen, that bottling thing's out the window. In terms of the game, listen, I always think it was very hot, okay? So you can maybe put that factor in as why Arsenal looked a bit tired. And United, obviously, they look tired, but they've looked poor all year. So you can factor that in, as well as it being the end of the season and they're running on an empty a little bit. But what I always think, especially from when I've played, is the better teams always want the ideal environment. So the perfect weather, nice cut grass, no bobbles, a little bit of water on the grass as well. That will suit them the best. Whenever there's dry grass, the grass is a bit longer, or it's really, really hot, a bit bobbly, they're all levelers. So you can only play to a sort of a maximum standard with them. So if you're playing against a worse team, it sort of brings you down even with them. You're then on par. So maybe that's what happened with the hot temperature as well. But listen, it's still not a big enough excuse for us to not be turning over United. And also, it sounds a bit negative, but I don't just think it was our sort of lack of energy, taking too many touches. I thought our game plan was a bit wrong. We were going very direct into Havertz a lot. For whatever reason, I'm not too sure, but we're playing against a Casemiro who can't turn, Johnny Evans who's 36. Why are we going direct into him? That's what they want. It will be so easy to maybe get a Trossard up front or get a Martinelli, even a Jesus, and someone who's going to run off the back of them or who's going to peel off them, not someone who's going to play up against them and sort of play into their hands. I think they've got a combined age of 68. So you've got to go for them. Can't play into their hands and not let them run. So yeah, I don't know. I said that before the game. I thought that'd be a bad game plan to do, and that's what he went with. I was a bit frustrated that he didn't take Havertz off earlier, because it was clear to see. It was clear you could see it in the first half and the start of the second. Should have Jesus or Martinelli ready to go early doors. But Martinelli come on later. He did well. Looked a bit lively. But we were sort of just managing the game at that point. We realised it was hot. We realised, we'll still get the odd chance, but we're not going to chuck everything at it to risk leaving ourselves open. Because Man United, regardless of their form, they still do have quality, and quality players can produce quality moments, even when the team and themselves have low form. And of course, we were against a very makeshift United team due to a lot of their players supposedly being injured. Now, I heard Rooney say this after the game, and he's spot on with what he said. A lot of them players will not be injured, or they might have something, a little knock, a tight hamstring, something that's not making them feel 100% that if it was a cup final, they'd get on the pitch and play. It's as simple as that. They see the state the club's in. They see they're not really playing for anything too much. The scrutiny on them. There's so much pressure on them, and as soon as it's got tough, they don't want to know. And to be honest, it's an absolute joke. It is an absolute joke that a player at the top level on ridiculous amount of money a week just doesn't want to be involved when it gets tough. Doesn't want to go through any hardship and fight it out. And I've seen it in change rooms before, firsthand at the top level. That sometimes it's a game that certain boys may not fancy, and they think, right, I do have a little knock. The people know about it. It might have just got a bit worse this weekend. Yeah, I'll go with that. It goes on far too often, and that mentality, you can't switch that mentality on and off. So you start pulling out of games where it gets tough, and you've probably got a little knock, but I could play through it. Do you know what I mean? If it was a cup final, I'll be there. It's one of them. But if you start doing that, then maybe subconsciously during the match, it might be a 50-50 that you think, right, I'll pull out of that one, it's a bit tough. Or you've got to run the length of the pitch to get back, right, I won't do that, that's a bit tough. These things creep into your game, and once they're there, they stick. It's very hard to get rid of them. So listen, that's what's happened with United, and definitely will not be a quick fix for that. It's a bit of a disgrace in my opinion. But off that shambles of a club, and we'll go back to Arsenal getting the win, and that has now made it 27 wins in the Premier League season for Arsenal. We've still got one game left, but that 27 win broke the record in terms of Arsenal's wins in a Premier League season, in a 38 game Premier League season. So that just shows you, I heard Arteta say it's not progress, that's history now. Arsenal have made history, and regardless of what we do, we've done that. We're progressing as a club. We're on the up, and we're here to stay, at least for the foreseeable future. We are here to stay, I'm telling you. And of course, that's obviously put us back on top of the table as it stands, with Man City having a game in hand. Now, what I would have liked is for us to maybe go for it a bit more. Listen, we've spoke about the conditions, but go for it a bit more and really try and boost our goal difference up, because we're currently 3 goals better off than City at the moment with our goal difference at 61. Theirs is at 58. They've got a game in hand. They win games quite comfortably at the moment, so they could be getting 3 or 4 in a game. And if they end up losing the other game, if they end up drawing the other game, then that's where goal difference will come into play. And if they end up drawing to Spurs and then smashing West Ham 5-0 and we lose on goal difference, that's going to be heartbreak. That will be serious heartbreak. So it's just like, I can see it coming into play. So it's a key factor, and against Everton, we need to put a good 3 or 4, I'd say, away to be safe of goal difference being a factor. That's what I would like, 3 or 4. And that just shows the attitude we need to come with to Everton.